I never imagined I'd be the villain in my own love story. But here we are. I'm 28, engaged, or at least I thought happily planning my wedding to the love of my life, Jason. We've been together 5 years. He proposed last summer during a weekend getaway to Calabar. It was perfect. He cried. I cried. My sister, Lana, screamed when I told her. Lana and I have always been close. She's 2 years younger than me, wild at heart but soft when it matters. When her marriage ended last year after she caught her husband cheating, I was the first person she called. She was a mess, pregnant, hurt, and unsure if she wanted to keep the baby. She ended up keeping all 3. Triplets. Yeah. Shocking, I know. Her ex didn't want anything to do with the kids. She had nowhere to go, and I didn't hesitate. I told her to move in with us. Jason was totally on board, even insisted on helping set up the guest room. He painted it himself. Bought a little rocking chair. Said it reminded him of the one his mom used when his baby sister was born. He was perfect. That's the thing about Jason. He's always been the dependable one. The guy who'd run errands, fix anything, smile at your parents, and ask how your day was going like he really meant it. At first, it felt like our little home was full of love. I worked mornings, Jason mostly worked from home, so he was always around. He helped Lana with her appointments when I couldn't. Drove her to antenatal classes. Rubbed her back when she got those awful leg cramps. I thought he was just being kind. Supportive. Selfless. The kind of man I bragged about to my friends. He even buys my sister ice cream when she's nauseous, I once said. I wore that like a badge of pride. Until I started noticing things. Little things. The way she looked at him sometimes like he was her safe place. The way he'd laugh at her jokes even when they weren't funny. The kind of laugh that lingers just a second too long. The way they'd stop talking whenever I entered the room. I brushed it off. Paranoia. Hormones. Pregnancy stress. Wedding stress. Life stress. Then one Saturday, I was doing laundry when I found his gray hoodie in Lana's laundry basket. Jason's favorite hoodie. The one he practically lived in during Harmattan. The one I gave him for his birthday last year. The one that always smelled like him, sandalwood and mint and a trace of his body spray. I held it up. Definitely his. I took it to her and asked, casually, "Hey, why's this in your basket?" She looked up from her phone and froze. Then laughed a little too hard and said, "Oh. I borrowed it. Was cold last night. Sorry." But her eyes didn't meet mine. I nodded. Left the room. Hoodie still in hand. I don't know what made me check the pockets. Maybe instinct. Maybe self-preservation. But I did. And that's when I found it. A small, crumpled hotel receipt. Printed on faded paper. The date was 6 weeks before Lana moved in. The name matched a small hotel just outside town. I'd never heard of it before, but Jason had once mentioned it, said he used it for work meetings sometimes when clients were flying in late. The room number was written in pen, 204. I stared at it for what felt like hours. My fingers went numb. My face flushed. I could still smell his cologne on the hoodie, clinging to the cotton like a bad habit. My ears started ringing. Because 6 weeks before Lana moved in, she was already pregnant. And suddenly, I wasn't sure those kicks she always joked about were the babies saying hello. No. Maybe it was the truth finally kicking me in the chest. They say when you start connecting the dots, you either find a pattern. Or a knife. And I was already bleeding. After I found the hotel receipt in Jason's hoodie, something inside me snapped, but not in a loud, confrontational way. Not yet. It was quiet. Like a wire got pulled loose in my chest and everything just hummed. Cold and numb. I didn't confront either of them. I smiled. I cooked dinner. I asked Lana how the babies were kicking. I kissed Jason goodnight and pretended not to notice the way his eyes darted away. But I started watching. Closely. A few nights later, I remembered something. A weekend, back in April. I'd caught the flu and was bedridden with a fever. Jason had gone out that Saturday night, said he needed air and was going to grab drinks with a few guys from work. Lana left too, claiming she was meeting a friend for tea. I hadn't thought twice about it. Why would I? The next morning, they both came home looking tired. Jason brought me soup. Lana brought me mangoes. I had chalked up their awkwardness to pity for my miserable state. But now, that weekend echoed in my memory like a taunt. Last Thursday, while tidying the kitchen, I saw something sitting on the counter. A black and white ultrasound photo, slightly crinkled at the edge. Lana must have left it after one of her checkups. The date was printed at the bottom. April 12th. That was the weekend. I stared at it for so long I could almost hear the gel being squirted on her belly. That night, while she was sleeping, I went to her room. I know. It was a violation. But betrayal isn't a boundary people respect either. I didn't find anything too telling, no love letters, no secret phones. But in her bathroom, on the sink, was her reusable water bottle. The one she never goes anywhere without. I picked it up carefully and sealed it in a Ziploc bag. Then I went back to my room and grabbed Jason's toothbrush. The blue one he always chews on like a dog with a bone. I'd seen a late-night documentary on at-home DNA testing once. The science was there. It just needed courage and saliva. I mailed both samples off under a fake name and paid for expedited processing. The days crawled. Meanwhile, I kept playing my part. The good fiancé. The supportive sister. I even took them both out for brunch one Sunday and told them I was planning a surprise baby shower for Lana. They both lit up like I was some kind of angel. Jason rubbed my back and told me I was the strongest woman he knew. Lana smiled into her mimosa and said she couldn't have made it through this pregnancy without me. The audacity was dizzying. 4 days later, I got the email. It came while I was in the office, mid-meeting. I excused myself to the bathroom, locked the door, and opened it. 99.99% probability of paternity. Jason was the father. Of all 3 babies. I sat there on the toilet, knees shaking, as something in me went very still. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just hardened. Like a glacier forming beneath my ribs. The kind of ice that doesn't melt with time. Only with fire. And oh, there was going to be fire. But not now. Not yet. Because if Lana wanted a baby shower, then I was going to give her a gift she'd never forget. There's something unsettling about watching the people who betrayed you beam in joy under decorations you paid for. Lana's baby shower was held at this lovely rooftop lounge overlooking the city skyline. Classy. Airy. Just the way she wanted. I made sure of that. I even let her pick the colors soft lavender and gold. She said it felt royal. I said nothing. Jason paid for most of it. I let him. People always assume revenge is loud. Explosive. Ugly. But sometimes, it's laced with lace and carried in with pastel balloons. That day, I wore a blush pink jumpsuit. Did my makeup with precision. Hair slicked back. Smile on my face. My best performance yet. Guests arrived with warm hugs and overflowing gift bags. Jason moved around, topping wine glasses and flashing dimples. Lana looked radiant, her round belly dressed in a silk maternity gown with mama of 3 bedazzled across it. I watched them. Watched how he touched the small of her back when he thought no one noticed. Watched how she smiled just a little too hard when someone asked if she already had a godfather in mind. I held my champagne flute like it was a weapon. When it came time for speeches, people raised their glasses and toasted to new beginnings. To strength. To motherhood. I waited until the laughter softened. Then I stood. Thank you all so much for coming, I began, my voice steady, sweet. Lana means the world to me, and I'm so glad we could all be here to celebrate her. And these little miracles. There were a few us. Lana touched her chest. I know we've all brought gifts today, I continued, but I brought something extra special. Something from the heart. Something that tells the truth. That was the first time Jason's face twitched. I turned, reached behind me, and picked up a square lavender gift box tied in silver ribbon. Walked over. Placed it gently on Lana's lap. Open it, I said, smiling. She looked at me, eyes uncertain now. But her fingers obeyed. Slowly, she pulled off the ribbon and lifted the lid. Silence dropped over the room like a bomb had gone off, but no one heard it land. She pulled out the first item, a white baby onesie with sparkly letters that read, "Daddy's favorite mistake." Her breath caught. Next came a framed document. She stared at it for a full 5 seconds before her eyes widened. The DNA result. And then, the receipt. The crumpled hotel printout from room 204, dated exactly 6 weeks before she moved in. Someone gasped. Someone dropped a glass. Jason took one step forward and then froze, like his brain just jammed mid-lie. Lana opened her mouth, but no sound came out. Her hands were shaking. I took a deep breath, turned to the crowd, and raised my voice so everyone could hear me. No mistaking it. "Congratulations," I said, locking eyes with my sister. "You're not just going to be an auntie anymore. You're the other woman." Aunt Grace clutched her pearls. My college friend whispered, "Holy shit." Jason looked like a man watching his whole life collapse in real time, and you know what? It was beautiful. I didn't wait for the chaos to fully erupt. I handed my champagne to the nearest person, picked up my bag, and walked straight out. Let them explain it to everyone. Let them mop up the mess. Let them taste what betrayal feels like in public, with a cake in the shape of baby bottles and a room full of love they didn't deserve. That gift box didn't just unwrap the truth. It buried them in it. They say revenge is best served cold, but the aftermath? That was scorching. As soon as I walked out of the baby shower, I heard the room behind me implode. Gasps, raised voices, someone yelling, "Are you serious?" Someone else crying. I didn't look back. I took the elevator like it was any other day. Calm. Poised. Like I hadn't just set fire to my life and watched it burn in lavender and gold. By the time I reached the parking lot, Jason was behind me. "Wait," he called, panting like the truth had sucked the air from his lungs. "Babe, please, can we just talk?" I didn't even flinch. Just turned to him slowly. "Talk? Now you want to talk? What exactly do you want to say, Jason?" I said, voice even. "You want to lie again? You want to tell me how it only happened once? Or that you were confused? Go on. I've got time." He looked like he was about to cry. "It was a mistake. I didn't mean for any of this to happen." "Oh," I said, taking off my engagement ring. "You mean you didn't mean to sleep with my sister and father her triplets while living in my house and smiling in my face every day like a damn coward?" His mouth opened, but no sound came out. Classic Jason big talk, no words when it counted. So I walked over to the car, plopped the ring in his half-finished champagne glass that he had brought down with him, and said, "Here. Since you funded the shower, you can have this back. Consider it a refund." I got in my car and left him standing there, holding a glass of betrayal and fizzing lies. I thought that would be the end of it. But of course, the internet had other plans. Apparently, one of the guests, a mutual friend, recorded the gift reveal and uploaded it, without my permission, but God bless her timing. Within 24 hours, it was on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, and even a meme page. The video started with, "She gave her sister this at a baby shower, skull skull skull," and ended with my words. "Congratulations. You're not just going to be an auntie anymore. You're the other woman." It hit 2 million views by Sunday morning. I went viral for a betrayal I never asked for, and strangely, it helped. People reached out. Strangers thanked me for standing up for myself. A few said I saved them from their own blind spots. It made me feel less alone. It made the madness make a little more sense. Then the calls started. First, Lana. I didn't answer. She texted, "I'm sorry. I didn't mean for you to find out like that." I stared at the message. "Not sorry I did it, not sorry I destroyed you. Just sorry you found out." Later, I heard from a friend that Jason had promised her he'd leave me after the babies were born. That they were planning the right time to tell me. Right time? As if there's ever a good time to say, "Hey, I knocked up your sister, but can we still co-parent the dog?" Then my mom called. "Baby, you have to talk to her," she said. "She's your sister. Blood is blood. No, Mom, I replied calmly. Blood is not betrayal. She made a mistake, 3 of them, actually. Silence. Then, softly, she's still your sister. I paused. And I meant what I said next with every bone in my body. No, I whispered. She used to be. They expected me to break. Maybe that's why it was so satisfying when I didn't. It's been a little over a year now. I've moved out, built my own space, and filled it with peace, the kind that doesn't come with secrets hiding in laundry baskets. Therapy helped. At first, I went just to vent. But somewhere along the way, I started to heal. I stopped asking myself what I did wrong. Stopped replaying the betrayal like a song stuck on a loop. I started sleeping again. Breathing again. Jason? Blocked. Lana? Blocked. But drama has a way of echoing even when you shut the door. Mutual friends kept me updated, even when I didn't ask. Apparently, Jason dipped 3 months after the babies were born. Said he wasn't ready for fatherhood and needed space to figure things out. Classic. He ghosted them both. No child support, no help, no explanations. Lana's struggling. She's back living with our aunt in Surelair. 3 kids under 1-year-old. No job. No Jason. Poetic, isn't it? As for me, I sold the wedding venue booking for a profit. Donated the dress to a women's shelter. And used the refund from our cancelled honeymoon to launch something new. A blog. Anonymous, of course. I call it the X-Files. It's a place where women share their stories of betrayal, survival, and starting over. No sugarcoating. No victim blaming. Just raw truth and community. And it's taken off. Sometimes the best revenge isn't a public slap or a screaming match. It's success. Peace. Freedom. Growth. But I wasn't done. Because some stories deserve a closing chapter. Even if it's delivered in gift wrap. On the triplets' first birthday, I mailed a package. No return address. Just a simple white box tied with a blue ribbon. Inside was a soft leather-bound baby memory book titled, Born from Betrayal. I'd left the pages blank. All except the first. Written in clean black ink, some women lose a man. Some women lose a sister. I lost both. But found myself. I don't know if she cried. I don't know if she ripped it up. But I do know this. I gave her the one thing she never gave me: closure. Not for her. For me. Because sometimes, the gift isn't what you give others. It's what you reclaim for yourself.